Okay, welcome everybody to the Thursday night chart chat where we talk about stocks which have that 10x to 100x upside potential. Only the technical analysis. We're not going to go, this is not official company information. This is only for, penny stock billionaires. This is, again, opinion only, not company information. We'll be talking about Bitcoin, NASDAQ, and Tesla, ARK, and other great stocks. I want to highlight really two stocks. Actually, no, we have four stocks that I'm going to be showing you their charts, which I think have massive upside in the next 4 to 6 weeks, very short term. And the big theme here is winners keep winning. Okay, track record counts. The four stocks I'm going to show you, they've all had past track record of huge run-ups. The markets tend to repeat. It's just like, look, it's like in anything in life with people, when somebody succeeds, they tend to succeed again. Winners keep winning, champions keep winning even bigger. All right, so that's the way it works. Greg, hello, B. LaFleur. Okay, let's jump into kind of the big theme. The markets are a little funky right now. It's hard to really tell what is happening last 2 days because you had this massive gap down. We broke the moving average. I mean, it was looking pretty ugly. It's still actually, for the broader market indexes, it does not look great. I mean, this is an ugly looking chart. If you follow our Telegram channel, which I encourage you to subscribe to, it's absolutely free. The link is in the video description below. If you want to get the inside scoop, get the inside information before everybody else, I highly recommend that you get that. It's free. Okay, so yeah, the Nasdaq is it could right now. It's like on the precipice here. I would say there's a 70% chance it falls through, but or it's not. Let's say 65%. It's a very weird market. I mean, it's very, very weird. It's hard to tell what's going on. I mean, my bias is that it's towards the downside because, again, we're below the moving average. We kind of have that nasty gap down. But let's take a look because the crazy thing is the charts I'm going to show you, they're actually going counter to the trend. A lot of our penny stocks have actually, they've been bottoming out for the last couple of months. So this is really not having that much of an impact on them. It's pretty crazy. Okay, Tesla. Again, you see this kind of, it's like, the old cartoon with, Wile E. Coyote, they're going over the cliff and the car is still over the cliff, or the coyote's over the cliff, and, his legs are spinning, but he still hasn't fallen yet, but he's still spinning while he's hanging over the cliff. That's what this looks like to me. It looks like it's just spinning and ready to drop. I mean, this is not a healthy look for Tesla. And again, that's not good in the scheme of things, for microcaps. If you think about it, it's not. It's just the way it is. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Yes, same thing. Not a good look. Let's see, does it get better with ARK Innovation, the Cathy Wood ETF? Not at all. As you see, it broke below the moving average again. 2 days. We're 2 days below this moving average now, and it's like, wow, it's just kind of looking to drop. I mean, it looks really ugly. I'm not gonna deny that. So there are some nasty tailwinds, but I don't know what to tell you. We got a couple charts here that are looking really good. Interestingly, two of them, well, actually, three out of these four I'm going to show you, they're counter-cyclical, or they're not really related. hang on a second, let me clear this up. Yeah, two more biotech. And yeah, look at this. This is pharma drug. So LMLLF for the Americans. I'm going to pull up the American chart because you know what? Who cares about Canada? You know, come on, Canada. Okay, same idea. You get the idea. I mean, PHRX is really the one to look at for the main movement, but this kind of goes to show you what's going on. Let me just draw the. I'll do a little candle action, just so you kind of see what's going on. So, you know, we really started marking this in the U.S. like a week ago, roughly. So, 3, 6, 8. Let's call it 10 days ago. And last was it Thursday? Yeah. So listen, we're getting some traction here. The U.S. investors are loading up. You know, we're going to be continuing pushing this to the U.S. institutions, and I think we're going to see some nice action. Look at this beautiful long-term base we're building. Again, track record counts. Look at where the stock has been. It was 17 cents before. It's 4 cents now. It's actually been as high as. Yeah, let me show you where it's been. This is the Canadian chart to give you the real perspective. So the Canadian chart, it was as high as 50 cents, and now we're at 5 cents. So you're getting this stock at a 90% discount. Again, candlestick chart to kind of show you that for the last week, the green, it's been going up. The volume has been increasing. You know, we had a little bit lower today, whatever, but actually higher than the previous 2 days. So, and if you notice, the volume now is higher than it's been for the last month or 6 weeks. So things are going to start moving with this stock. And again, we're above the moving average. Like I told you, you don't need to believe anything I tell you. Just assume everything I tell you is 100% bullshit. Like it's all bullshit because look, you know, this is all paid promotion. Well, not this part. This is opinion, but you know, I'm getting paid by the companies, so I'm a little bit biased, right? So let me just pull this up here. Yeah. Okay. So, but the charts don't lie. This is my mantra. Charts don't lie. Once the thing is above moving average, or 50-day moving average, you want to be long. If it's below the 50-day moving average, you don't want to be long. Okay, so at this point, the trend is your friend, and it is up. I think we're going to break out of this range here, and once the stock clears, 6 cents, that's really the main resistance. I mean, we're literally this is. What a joke. I mean, really, what a joke this market is. This stock is trading at 5.5 cents. It's been stuck at 5.5 cents. I'll tell you what a joke this is because, I remember, a lot of stocks when we first get involved, especially these the Canadian stocks are the absolute worst. But when we get involved with these companies and they're like 5 cents and they trade in these half penny increments, and you have these like, I don't know, day traders, you have algorithms. It's the whole thing is absolutely nuts. But you actually do have people who think they're like brilliant because they're able to scalp for like half a penny or 2 pennies, and they're geniuses, right? The problem is, okay, so they make 2 pennies, and then all of a sudden the stock goes from 5 cents to 10 cents. Now it's 25 cents. Now it's $1. And now it's trading in 15, 10, 20 cent ranges, whereas before that was the whole price. It was 5 cents. You saw that happen with CBDT. CBDT went from a nickel to 250. Same thing happened with let's see, Fans Unite. We haven't talked about that one in a while. Fans. I can go through the whole list. I mean, I don't want to it could sound like a broken record because I say this all the time. Anyway, bottom line is I think we're going to see the same thing here. I think this stock is going to run to 25, 30 cents very quickly. We've seen that it's happened before. Again, history repeats. Winners keep winning. Look what the stock has done. Every time it closed above this moving average, every time. Number one, it went from 3 cents to 12.5 cents. So you got a 4x. Then it went from, I don't know, was it 4 cents to 11 cents. Actually, well, technically went to really 20 cents. So you had 4x, 5x more. The only fake out you had was over here where it popped above 3.5 cents. It went to, what is it, 6 cents. And then we're back where we are. So, but, 3 out of 4 times is, it's pretty good. That's a pretty good track record. I mean, think about it. Statistically speaking, you can make money with that. That's like I mean, anybody watching this, I mean, like, again, I'm not giving you recommendations. This is not advice, but this is like, I mean, this is how Warren Buffett became a billionaire. I mean, this is how the insurance business works. It's statistics and probabilities. Okay, this is like Lloyd's of London, generations of generational wealth. Statistics, probabilities, right? It's like Vegas. This is how they build these massive billion-dollar casinos based on statistics. The statistics here are that 3 out of 4 times, 75% of the time, when we're above the moving average, the stock tends to go up 4x. It doesn't get better than this. I mean, if I need to really explain this to you, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But that it is what it is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Canada. Listen, Canada. It's just a shithole country. I mean, they do have good stocks and they have good salmon in Vancouver. But outside of that, I mean, even who the fuck wants to live in a place where it's cold? I mean, yeah, I think we need to only focus on the U.S. stock tickers. Really, I got to get back into more U.S. OTC, NASDAQ. I got to get back to the NASDAQ stocks. This is you know what? We're already in April 2022. You know what? In the next couple of months, you're going to see more NASDAQ OTC stuff. For sure, we're going to get more, especially NASDAQ, because the OTC market is like, it's actually worse than the CSC. It's yeah, we're going to get some NASDAQ companies in here. Hey, we've had some. Actually, some of our big winners have been on NASDAQ. We brought you FOMO last year. FOMO, it was $8, ran to $60. Okay, so let me pull up LLMLF for all you high-class Americans. Let's get this. Where is this LLMLF? Why is it not coming up? This stock is probably just too classy. Not coming up now. This must be like must be some conspiracy. Okay. Bottom line is Pharma Drug, PHRX in Canada, LLMLF. Now I gotta pull this up. We need to get LL. Why is it not coming up? Okay. Next. Nova Mentis. Let me get this NMLSF first. Let me see if this is working. Or okay, there we go. Let me start with this. Okay. Beautiful base. Look how high the stock has been. It was $3 American. $3 on this chart. $3, right? Where is it now? 69.9. Less than 7 cents. And again, we're above the moving average. Same thing, very similar. Oh, this stock has had a couple of more fake outs. As you see, this has had more fake outs. Actually, should we use a different moving average? Let me try something different. Let me try. Should we do 120? Let me try. This is better. Okay. Look, sometimes you got to go with a different, each stock has a different personality. Okay, so let's say 120-day moving average. That's actually a little bit more statistically relevant. Okay, look what happens. The first time it broke above, it was 36 cents. It went as high as $3. You had a 10-bagger. Okay, the time to sell was when it broke below the 120. Then again, you had to move from 24 cents to 60. So you had a triple right over here. Was it triple? No, it was 40. No, it was like a 50% move. So that's like a piker move. You had another little piker move, 50%, again 50%, another 30, whatever. And okay, so now we're above the moving average. So look, you had a couple of these fake outs where the stock it only ran 50%. So I'm sorry, you only would have made 50% on your money. But we're above the moving average now. So statistically speaking, the worst that can happen is you only make 50%. Again, this is not advice. You can lose all your money. Don't listen to anything I tell you. This is Nova Mentis, NMLSF in the US. By the way, we're going to start pushing the stock in the US, which we haven't done yet. So next week, the turbochargers kick in to the moon. How is it looking in Canada? The 120. Pretty much the same thing. It's pretty good. Anytime it breaks above this moving average, you get a nice pop. And we're above this moving average. This is the 120. So this is a more, significant. This is the more significant moving average. Let me try this. Let me try something different here. Let's try 100. Yeah, there you go. Let's see which one. Do you get fake signals here? It's about the same. Let me go back to the 50 just because that one works better for more swingier type stocks. Anyway, bottom line is these biotech stocks, Nova Mentis. I highly encourage you to watch the live stream we did today with Dr. Marvin. It's up on our YouTube channel. Listen, the bottom line is this stock, NMLSF, Nova Mentis, easily could be a 20x, like a $1 stock, like legitimately a $1 stock. Why? Why do I say that? I'll give you two reasons why I think it could be a $1 stock. Okay, first of all, from a technical perspective, we've had a massive base. We're starting to move up, break out. We've seen moves to 40 cents. Or again, we're at 8 cents Canadian, right? This is the Canadian chart. 8 cents Canadian. It's made 5x moves before, and it's even been as high as $4. So I'm only saying $1, like that's like halfway. That's like the halfway mark, right? So that would give it a 100 million valuation. That's nothing. There we go. Where is it? Okay, so where are we? Nova. So Nova Mentis right now. What is it? You basically have 100 million valuation, right? Excuse me, there's about 100 million shares out. So you got, it's like a $5 million American valuation. That's nothing, right? Now, how much is? Wait. Yeah. So here's what you got to look at. What's the path for this to be a massive winner like these stocks you see below? If they're moving towards phase 2A data in Canada, right? If the phase 2A trials. So you're going to have data, you're going to have clinical data out in the next 3-4 months. Yeah, look, it might take a little bit longer. Okay. But look, if you watch that video with Dr. Marv, this guy knows what he's doing. He's been around the block a couple of times. This is not like, some of these other biotech stocks where, these guys have never done it before, or even like, I don't want to mention any names, but, people, maybe this guy's been around for let's just say quite a while. He's been in biotech since the early 80s. Okay. That's like 50 years. Okay. So he was one of the first publicly traded biotech companies, which became a 50x or 100x stock. And he's had multiple winners since then. This guy, if you watch that video, you can see he knows what he's doing in terms of designing the clinical trials, dealing with the regulatory authorities, everything else. Multiple times, right? Probably dozens. He's had 6 drugs come to market, right? And actually commercialized billions of dollars in revenue. So this guy is the real deal. And what's going to happen is once they get to this phase 2 trial, they get the data. company with phase 2 company in the US that's has what's potentially a multi-billion-dollar drug platform. What is it worth? A couple hundred million for starters. For starters, a couple hundred million. And by the way, we're in a depressed biotech market, which is coming back, but still we're at the bottom of the cycle. So, you have a couple hundred million, you're at 8 million. So the upside is 30x. 30x. I was saying 20x, but this could be easily a $1 stock, maybe even $2. Why not? Same thing with pharma drug, PHRX, which I was showing you a little bit earlier. Now, the difference is pharma drug is a little bit earlier stage. So pharma drug, they're going to get to their phase 1. They're going to do their clinical trial. Oh, it's going to be like Q1 next year. But meanwhile, they're doing a bunch of lab stuff in the clinic. So they're building assets now. So there is massive upside where the stock can move. But they're not going to be doing the first clinical trial, human trials till next January or something. The path forward, though, the reason why pharma drug can be a 10x from here is they're going to be doing these lab studies on other indications, all the cancer stuff. They're going to be creating some more robust data. So as they publish that, as it comes out, etc., you could see a nice pop here. And again, we've seen it happen before. It's going to happen again. I mean, again, not a device, but history tends to repeat. The difference between these two stocks is, I would say Nova Mentis, what you see here. It's interesting because Nova is less well known. It's got a tiny following. Nobody knows about this company. It's had a bad reputation from like a previous. It had like an earlier incarnation. It was like some, I don't know, that's some cannabis. Well, listen, all these penny stocks come with baggage. They had some bullshit cannabis or something back in who knows when and whatever. That's all gone. The focus is purely the psilocybin for autism treatment. It's moving forward. They got phase 2A trials coming up. This is the real deal. They got a real medical research team in place. By the way, every single penny stock that becomes a TenBagger comes with baggage. Every single one. Every one. Even like CBDT, that was a nickel stock, went to 250. That one had the same thing. It had some bullshit in the background. Skylight, SLHG, that was one of our other ones, which that one only went up 5x when we got involved. But before that, I think before the healthcare business, they had some cannabis-related stuff. I mean, they all go through these pivots. I can go down the list. I mean, literally every single company had that like previous baggage. So, and that's what makes them. That's what creates the opportunity because they're cheap. Because the people kind of give up on these, and they get a new management, new things come in, and something is extremely undervalued, and then all of a sudden it gets revalued. So that's our goal, is to get into opportunities when they're extremely, undervalued, which I believe Nova Mentis is, NMLSF in Canada, NMLSF US, US chart, and Canada, you saw that, okay. Why is the MLF? I don't know why this is not coming up now. This thing is quirky. But anyway, so those two stocks prepared for massive moves. Let's go into another one here. We have a favorite, Next Tech. Speaking of winners, speaking of massive winners. So here's a stock. This is this is the first time I have brought back a previous TenBagger. Okay, it's a stock we got involved in August 2019. 50 cents American. Let me pull the American chart. I don't want to look at this Canadian crap. Okay, so we got involved right over here. Or it was like, I think it was July, August, right, basically right over here. It was like, let's call it 50 cents. It was 50 cents. And it was, slowly but surely it started moving up. I started building an audience. And there you go, boom. We go to $7. You had a 12x, 1200% return, which means if you put in 10 grand, you would have $120,000. 10 grand would become 120 grand. 12 bagger. And guess what? Winners tend to repeat. And, by the way, so we worked with them for about 6 months. No, I think it was like a year. No, it really was a year, right? And then, back in November 18 months ago, I said, hey, I don't know, we had some creative differences, whatever you want to call it. And, I was like, hey, I don't see that much upside here because, they really had to kind of do a lot of work to back into that valuation at that time. Anyway, here we are now. I'm looking at the stock recently and I realized, man, this thing has gotten too cheap. I like what the company is doing, but even more importantly, and I've said this multiple times on this program, Nextech has the absolute best CEO in the microcap space. Okay, 100%. So Evan, the CEO of this company, this guy here's basically what separates him from a lot of these other people. Number one is he's got a very unique perspective. I mean, he's been in the microcap world for 30 plus years, right? First, he was a broker, investment banker. I mean, he was involved in the early stage with companies like Take-Two Interactive, which he raised a bunch of money for when it was still probably like a 50 million market cap. Now it's in the multi-billions and billions. So this guy, he's built some major success, right? And here's the thing. It's not what I'm telling you. Just look for yourself. One of the biggest pet peeves I have with companies is when all of a sudden the stock price increases and then they fall off the radar. They stop putting out news. The CEO, you never hear from the guy again. And then those stocks dry up, right? I'll give you multiple examples. It happened with Skylight, CloudMD. There you go. VSBY, one of our, I think they're basically expired on our thing. We're not. So VSBY, what's going on with VSBY? Yeah, we haven't heard from this guy in months. No news, nothing, right? Do they have stuff to talk about? 100%, 1,000%. I guarantee you VSBY has a stack of stuff they could be putting out news on. And the CEO could be doing live streams on our platform. Look what's happened to this guy. Since he stopped showing up in mid-January, his stock has fallen off. The volume has been drying up. I mean, this happens every time. It's like a broken record. It's happened every fucking time. It's like a joke, right? I don't know what some of these people are thinking, but whatever. It's I don't really care. You know what? Look, we can only handle. Look, I can only handle a certain amount of companies at any given time anyway, so it doesn't matter. If one doesn't want to do it, I got 4 lined up who want to be on our platform. There's no shortage. So it's just a shame when somebody who's got something really good, and I believe VSBY has something really good, but when you're not promoting that stock, you're not doing your job properly. I'm straight up. Bottom line is Evan Gappelberg, CEO of Nextech. Look at the news flow. Look, this company, relentless. Since before I met him, way before, but in the last 2 years that I've known Nextech, every week, news, every week, nonstop, no matter what the market is doing. And what does that do? It creates investor interest. Um, and especially now that he's back on the next super stock Wall Street Reporter platform, we're going to be going back to the old highs. We're going to be going to $10. I guarantee you that. Well, no, I can't. I don't want to move back up. Nothing here is guaranteed. This is not investment advice. Listen, here's what I believe. With this stock, the bet is, yeah, the technology is great. The AR, the metaverse, phenomenal. Okay, you know what? Listen, the way I'm looking at this is, to me, it's a bet on the jockey. Okay, it's like classic venture capital. Classic venture capital is you bet on management. You find somebody who's a brilliant guy, who's got a massive motivation and drive and resilience, who's relentless, who wants to go to 100x, and that's the guy you put your money on. Because it doesn't matter what the business is, that person is gonna, whether he's selling hubcaps or AR or psychedelics, it doesn't really matter. They're gonna figure out a way to make it a massive success. Here's some recent example. Airbnb, right? Airbnb, they started off selling, I don't know, cereal or something. It wasn't working. They pivoted. Now you have a massive multi-billion-dollar company. Who else was it? I mean, millions of examples. I always use the example of Time Warner, but I know that might be a little bit, some of you kids these days don't even know that story. But I would highly suggest you study the story of Time Warner. Great book, business book called, I think it was Master of the Game. Master of the Game. Highly recommend you buy it on Amazon used, whatever it is. It's about Steve Ross, one of the great CEOs, business success stories, entrepreneurs of the last 100 years. I mean, this guy was a rock star of the 80s, 70s, 80s into the 90s. And I think what you're doing, what you got with Evan is basically, same thing. You got like a Steve Ross type of guy. I mean, this guy's going to take this thing to potentially 100-bagger. Again, Time Warner, which is a multi-billion-dollar company now, became massive, 100-bagger. That started off as a funeral home in a parking lot. Next thing you know, they're doing movies and everything else, Warner Brothers and everything. So Next Tech right now, look at this beautiful chart. Let me go back to the chart. Forget about the fundamentals. Who cares about the fundamentals? The charts don't lie. What's going on here? So first of all, let me be 100% clear. We are below the moving average. We are below the 50-day moving average, which means technically the chart says it's not the right time to buy the stock, but we're building a base right here. What's happening is we're starting to build a base, and which is going to happen probably over the next week to 10 days. It's going to take a little while. So if you want to be aggressive, you could buy here, right? You could be aggressive and buy here at 70 cents. Or if you want to be conservative, which is the smarter move to be conservative, and buy it when it breaks out, like probably at $1. So, you got to kind of do a risk and reward analysis. Do you get an early here? You buy when nobody's buying, which is, really the smart move. Or do you kind of, go with the, it's sort of like playing golf, when I'm kind of like, there's like a water where there's like a lake or whatever, and I got to hit over I like to take a chance because I think it's more fun, right? I want to try to get the ball over the lake, directly over the lake and onto the green. But the guys who are really smart, or the pro, whatever, more professional, whatever, they kind of want to do a little more conservative. They got to hit the ball to the side where it lands on the, on like a fairway or grass, and then from there they go. I like to kind of, look, life is short. You might as well have some fun. So to me, we're at the bottom here. And again, if you draw the trend line, you can see exactly what's going on here. I mean, we're basically there. Here we go. So there you go. This is basically like you're at really the key technical support right now. Can it go a little bit lower? It can. But it could just as easily just take off and you'll never have a chance to get on. But I got to tell you something, when this thing starts moving, you can see how quick this thing moves. When it moves like a rocket. So it's probably going to build a base over the next couple of days, 7 to 10 days. We'll probably build like a head and shoulders bottom or some sort of nice little bottom. And then, it's going to start moving and you'll never have another opportunity to get on board again this cheap, in my opinion. Again, not advice. But you can see we're in a key support area, above previous highs, previous things. Good time. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to get to some audience questions. We've got some great questions coming in here. Okay, let me go to the last stock I'm going to be talking about today. Wait, this chart is not correct. Okay. Organic Garage. And let me just show you something right here. This is OG in the Canada, OGGFF American. I'm going to show you the Canadian thing first, only because, this is the bigger chart. It's more liquid. For now, it's more liquid. Not for long. The American's going to take over very shortly, but yeah, for now. Actually, okay, so the support is actually a little bit lower, but no. I showed you the support line many times. We bounced off this line. Now it's above the moving average. So this is clear indication. What did I tell you before? When it's above the moving average, you buy. When it's below the moving average, you sell. Again, how accurate is this? Pretty accurate. Last time it broke out from, was it 9 cents? It went to over $1. You had a 10x. The time to sell was at 70 cents when it broke below. You had one fake out over here where it popped up above and didn't really stay too much above that moving average line. 5 to 7 days. Now, the next time it broke above, it was 30 cents. It went to 70 cents. So you had more than a double. By the way, that's where we introduced the company to our audience. So you had a double out of the gate, first 30 days. I'm not sure. The stock kind of pulled back. We had a bit of a rough market starting in December. It was a little bit funky. And now we're back above the moving average. So based on history, you have a, what is it? Is it a 70%? 1, 2. Okay. With this thing right here, it's only a 50% probability. You got a 50% probability that you're either going to double or get a 10x. So if you do between the math, it's a, I don't know, what's the average between 200% and 1,000%, 500% or something, or whatever it is. I'm not that great at math. Basically, what this thing is telling you right now is that we're going to be going to 5x. That's $1.50. I think we're going to $2.50 or so, but it might only be $1.50 for meanwhile. So it's looking extremely bullish. Let me pull up the American chart because Canada is not really the main place. Okay, so the Americans have been buying. By the way, if you notice, look at this. So we got involved with Organic Garage right over here. And as you can see, the U.S. volume went from nothing to, significant. Oh, I'm sorry. OG. Wait. OGGFF. I was like, what this bizarre chart? No, this is the right chart. There you go. Okay, so something wasn't making sense. Yeah, so we get involved in October, mid-October. And as you can see, the U.S. volume went from absolutely nothing. There was nothing going on in the U.S. Nobody in America knew about organic origin foods. All of a sudden, we're getting, high net worth retail, family offices, small hedge funds, retail investors in the U.S. starting to nibble on the stock. And here we go. Boom. Volume taken off. And the volume is starting to build again. We're above the moving average, above the trend line. This thing it's go time. I mean, we're going to be going to $2 plus. Okay, let's get to some questions. Good question. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea if they have, but yeah, they definitely have a tremendous pipeline. I think actually, I think they do. I think maybe did they apply? I don't know. Well, the problem also is they're not in the U.S., so maybe it's only a U. They're a Canadian company technically. Although the drug is manufactured in the U.S., so it's interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Sean, you mean Sean Black? I don't know. Sean is, I don't know. He's hanging out. Basically, we're gonna bring him back. Hopefully, at some point when we have something, worth talking about. Right now, the stock season are, the stocks that he was talking about with us, which was VSBY and TBP, and what's the other one? Skylight. So they're kind of in the doghouse. So, we're not. Let me see what else. ESE. Look here. Let me tell you the problem with the ESE. I think right now is very simple. That's a roll-up story, right? And to make a roll-up consolidation story work, you need promotion. Okay, you need aggressive promotion to do what they're doing, and they're not doing. I mean, they're off Wall Street Reporter for last month. You can see their volume is starting to dry up. In the U.S., the volume has gone to zero, basically. I don't know what's. it's a little bit disappointing. I don't know. I mean, the smart guy. I mean, I think he knows what to do, Conrad. I don't know what's going on. So, but whatever. Maybe he might come back at some point. Who knows? Hopefully, the stock doesn't go down too much. But yeah, the key thing is in that business, you got to promote the stock aggressively, not like some bullshit, whatever, like Agoracom or was it Proactive? These sites that don't do anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, who is this guy? See this guy? Is this guy a robot thing or a real? Because I see this guy pops up, Jorge with a AMC. Always I don't know why this, but just for shits and giggles, I'll pull up AMC, which by the way is a piece of shit, which is going to be at some point completely worthless, because nobody's watching movies anymore. Yeah, I mean, we're still above the moving average here, but it's losing. It's rapidly. The air is going out of this balloon. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a dog. I mean, it was a dog for years. I mean, and I hate to say this, but this is going to be back into the $2 number, $1. It's probably going to be bankrupt in a very short while. I mean, it's an absolute piece of garbage, this company. I mean, and again, I think the CEO is actually doing a great job. The guy's a great hustler. He's playing the cards that were dealt to him. He's trying to make the most of this theater business, but I don't see theaters coming back. I think theaters are a relic of the past. I'm just curious. I mean, like, how many people actually watching this thing right now? I mean, just put in your comment below. How many people actually want to go to see Top Gun, the Top Gun movie coming out with Tom Cruise? If anybody still remembers Top Gun, right there. So do you want to see it in the movie theater, right, and pay, I don't know, whatever it is? Or do you want to see it at home on your flat screen and, in your own environment? So in other words, do you want to pay $50 to bring like two people, basically? Like, I think it's like, think about it. Yeah, if you go, let's say you're just two people, right? You go on a date. How much is a movie ticket? I haven't been to a movie in years, right? But I remember I was like $10, $12, right? So it's 25. You might get popcorn, maybe. I mean, maybe if it's a first date, you have to probably get, you don't want to be cheap, right? So $50 basically, right? If you take a family, then you're going to be broke. It's $100. You're going to be in this theater. There's, there's floors, there's gum on the floors or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is there. There's some guy like in a dirty raincoat, jerking off behind you. Or maybe that's only in the adult theaters. I don't know, it's the Pee Wee Herman era. But yeah, so you got that. Or you could be at home in front of a nice flat screen, nice and quiet. Nobody's yelling at the screen like, in some places in the US. I don't want to mention it. But yeah, nobody's yelling, shouting at the screen, making comments. And, it's free because you're watching it on Netflix or you're watching it at wherever, right? And you can eat whatever you want. You can drink whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, right? So you can do, what is it called? Netflix and chill? Is that like the big thing? Yeah, so there you go. I mean, the movie theater thing is, I hate to say it, really, because here's the issue. The issue back in the day was, when you first had movies and TV screens, even when they still went to flat screen, it wasn't quite as good. You didn't have streaming. Again, remember, when you first got the big flat screens of the mid-2000s, you didn't have good streaming. Now you got perfect streaming. And, it's free, right? With your Netflix, what is it, $10? And the cat is out of the bag because the movie, the producer, the studios, for them, they would rather just put it into, onto their platforms, whether it's Disney Plus, whoever's doing whatever it is that they're doing. They have better control of it. Why should they deal with, all the nonsense of the theaters? I mean, the theaters are basically over. It's it's going to become like a very niche thing. It's going to be just like, the old, porn theaters. I mean, not to be, we're trying to keep this a family-oriented show here, but yeah, they used to have these porn theaters, the adult theaters. You used to have them in Times Square. I mean, everywhere. But that was because you couldn't watch, pornography on the internet. They didn't have the internet. People had to go to a movie theater and watch it, in the company of others, like Pee Wee Herman back in the 90s. And once VHS and Betamax tape came along, then you had DVD. That business evaporated because who would want to go there? I mean, when you could watch it in the privacy and comfort of your own home, right? So it's the same thing. It's people are going to want to watch Top Gun at home when it comes out finally. Next week, Organic Garage, I think Tuesday. I think we're going to be back on Tuesday. Yeah, AMC, bottom line is eventually AMC will become bankrupt. I guarantee you this. Money back not guaranteed. That's my guarantee. Okay, let's see. So let's recap. Oh, yeah, AMC. Let's get rid of this AMC here. Let's pull up Organic Garage. Okay. I'm sorry, Origin Foods. I apologize. Origin. OGGFF. Let me pull up the American symbol. OGGFF. This thing is ready to explode. Today was a little funky day, but yeah, tomorrow I think we'll see better in the next couple of days. Nova Mentis. Great looking chart. Let me clear this. Massive double bottom. I'm looking for a $1 number on this, easy. So you got a 10x, 20x, maybe even a 30x built in. Pharma Drug, same thing. And this Pharma Drug is already starting to move. Nova Mentis, it's going to catch up, I believe, next week. Pharma Drug tomorrow. Watch the stock. Pharma Drug, PHRX, for all you Canadian lowlifes. And in the US, it is LLMLF, and it's not coming up. And the system is broken. LLMLF US. Yeah, this thing is PHRX Canada, ready for massive. Oh, actually, here's what I'm going to do. That's what I should do. I should just farm. Oh, was I not putting enough L's? I don't know. They got to change their symbol. This is like a ridiculous, stupid symbol. LML. Okay. Anyway, bottom line, this is the American chart. Look at this volume. We're getting volume now. We're getting action here. Tomorrow, we're above the moving average. All systems are in the green right now. This is like everything is indicating the rocket is lifting. Oh, actually, let me pull up some indicators. There you go, MACD. Okay, yeah, looking good. Here it's but yeah. PHRX, yeah, looking very good. So, pharma drug, very strong possibility for tomorrow. On that note, I'm going to sign off. So again, let's recap. PHRX. Okay, let me just give you the American symbols. LLMLF, that's pharma drug in the US. Novomentis NMLSF. Origin Foods OGGFF, and Nextech NEXCF. I believe Nextech is probably going to start moving next week. Nextech next week is going to be the big breakout. We're going to have probably a V-shaped bottom or something like that happening, something very exciting. And Novomentis also next week. This week, tomorrow and Monday, pharma drug is going to be most likely a massive mover with a lot of action. So with that said, thank you for joining. I will see you on the next one.